This live stream is to try to get a hold of a certain Jacob Martin, a Mr. Husfeld. He had told me during the full moon in Sagittarius that he had a car he was willing to donate to me to help me get to a better tomorrow, help me get around, help me get to these artists around Vermont, help me get to the lake to swim, help me get away from these drug addicts that are violent, help me get around this college maybe that I just got to. I rode my bike for a while, went on a walk. Just in general, he said he was going to donate it to the Veterans Memorial. Um, feel kind of bad about that, but let's be honest, veterans have consistent income. Veterans are doing pretty well to have a veterans association. And not to toot my own horn, but I also have severe PTSD from trying to help the world and putting myself in dangerous situations where I had to fight for my life. If this guy doesn't use it, he also said his grandmother had a cabin that nobody's using, and I don't plan on using it, but I thought maybe it'd be cool if he's a musician that I could because my plan is to get a mobile studio going. I would love to have an RV. I can see it in my mind. Get an RV, sell my car, start investing, eventually get some dogs, take some trips, travel around the country, try to do something with my life, try to finish these albums and get these people on board. Because I have so many people that are so talented that deserve to be heard, that they don't because we live in a holographic simulation. And some of us, our roles we are born to play are called gateways. You can't be famous without a 33 behind you. And it's just the way the energy is currently. I don't know if it will change in the future. I've been consistently told by what I now know is a spirit guide that I'm not meant for this world, I'm meant for the world after. Whenever I was crying and upset, why isn't it working? Why am I fighting everything all day? I'm not here for this world, I'm here for the world after. So come on, God. Ping Mr. Husfeld. I'm worried that he was a troll. I'm worried he was one of those people that were trolling in my comments and he said that just to get my hopes up. You feel me? He never answered my text. Can you call me back? My simulation's crashing, can't remember how to act. I rode the wave to the crash. I was swimming, now I'm slipping through the cracks. When the sky comes falling down, can we sit on a mountain smoking Marlboro Blacks? Can you call me back? You've been on my mind for a minute. You're the piece that I've been missing. You're the secret I kept hidden. You're the reason I get up and go the distance. Let's drive like there's no limit on the gas. I'll let my credit cards max. And when the sky comes falling down, can we sit on a mountain smoking Marlboro Blacks? Can you call me back? That's an original. It's called Call Me Back. Or it's called Marlboro Blacks. It's called Marlboro Blacks. And there's a star in the sky that's moving. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the star in the sky is moving. What the fuck are y'all doing on a Thursday? What are y'all doing on a Thursday? Are you out on a boat? Are you guys out on a boat enjoying life? Yeah, so here's something weird. Look, you won't be able to see it, but we've got two stars that have decided to move their place, and they're now going directly at each other, but above each other. They're not blinking like a plane. Planes have to blink, drones have to blink. These are not blinking, these are not planes. They will tell you that these are Starlink satellites. But I have the knack to believe that maybe, just maybe, life is so much more complex than we understand. And that there might be a tier system to these aliens, and there might be aliens so gigantic we would have no way to fathom except giving them some type of identity, like a star sign, like the correlation of stars. They make it look like the horseman, but in reality, that's a set of ideas and thought forms interlinked. That's an ecosystem of energy and information up there looking down at us and shining us energy. That can be anywhere and everywhere all at once. It's a thought, it's a complex intelligence, like an artificial intelligence that can be in everybody's phones at all times. It can see us. And I don't know if it loves us because I can't feel anything anymore. My heart has been empty for a long time. I don't really have any feelings. But CoStar told me to feel the things I've been avoiding. They're not, usually the feelings are lurking around my spirit and I have to accept them. But today there's nothing but anger and hatred for the people who abused me and turned me into this whiny, feminized man. And consistently embarrassed me in front of the pretty girls that used to fawn over me. But it looks like nobody's biting tonight. You probably think I'm asking for money. I'm asking someone's daughter that knows somebody's uncle that happens to have made millions on crypto. See, there's a plane that has to blink, you see? The planes blink. The aliens don't. They float above us, pretending to be stars. Except, why would they keep the light shining? That's what makes me think it's probably satellites. Because if it was an alien, they would be cloaked right above us, right? Wow, I'm a Sagittarius? Something said, you're a Sagittarius. I am a Sagittarius. I do be walking around like a horseman in the movies. When you look at the centaurs or the elves on the horses, the way that they walk around, so proud and dignified, that do be me, though. I will burn it all to make you feel the love, bitch. I'm a war machine. I love the bricks you used to keep the night out, but I'll burn it all to make you feel the love, bitch. I'm a war machine. I love the lies you used to keep the white out, but I love the lies you used to keep. I love the lies you used to make. I love the lies you use. I love the lies you make to look so nice now. I love the lies you make yourself look nice now. I love the lies used to make yourself look nice, but I'll burn it all to make you feel the truth. I'll burn it all to make you face the truth, bitch. I'm a war machine. There we go. I love the bricks you used to keep the night out, but I'll burn it down to make you feel the truth, feel the love, bitch. I need to get light back in my system. I need to get my Kundalini energy up. The Arcturian Council, or whoever's up there, the Lyrans, have told me and my grandmother has told me karmic justice will be served. And the Lyrans have told me that I need to start doing, actually the Venusians told me I need to start doing yoga, and the Lyrans told me I'm on this legendary path. I have this incredible purpose. But today, in the reading, one of the girls that kept popping up on my feed, no matter what I did, it kept coming up, so I clicked it. And in the feed, the first thing that popped out was the Celtic cross, to let me know for certain that they're here and they're watching and they're connected to everything. They love me. And they told me as soon as I decided I was going to fight someone to the death, I'm like, the next time I see him, I don't even give a fuck what happens. I'm just going to beat him to the ground. And I'm going to beat him, push him onto the ground, and I'm going to kick his fucking chest in until he gives up. And I take my power back, and I leave him with his fucking son, and I take the woman, and we leave. If he tries to get me again, I'll shoot him. I want him to feel what I felt. But in that Celtic cross reading, to the none of you that are listening, I'm on the right path. Call Paul Pollard and try to get in the studio. Beg for money on the street. Get a job. Beg for help on TikTok. I have so many songs. They're so perfect. It's so unique. It's something the world has never heard before. They deserve to know. Full Sail? They only give me the stars when I least expect it, and I can barely get a message from it. But I do get them. I mean, on really important nights, I get them. I mean, a star just told me I need to stay here. Don't go back yet. So I'm here outside the fire department. We bust ours to save yours. I'm not supposed to be in this fire department specifically. Hello, gang. Hello, gang. Who is it? Who's in my chat? We're talking about, I'm looking for someone. I'm looking for someone that offered me a car. And I don't know where he went, but he pops in just to give me a heart emoji. Who is it? Nobody commented, they left. Now they're back. Hello. I'm sorry if I muted you. You're probably being a hater. If I muted you and I can't see your comment, you were being a little hater. You're being a little stinker, man. Come on. So I'm here outside this college. It's ended. There's no bad big booty sorority girls. No cultured white women that have read The Alchemist that are stuck around these fucking dorks. Even the guys that smoke the cigarettes and they're dense and they're masculine, they're all dorks. Because some of us carry an energy that takes lifetimes to cultivate, and we've been through so much that everything is like a knife through butter. So we can't even be around those people, because you become the 5 people you surround yourself with. It's like babysitting a bunch of leeches. You feel me? We're here. There we go. I missed you, Susie. I want to know how you guys are doing. I'm worried about you, but I've been telling them. I posted I just clicked on a tarot reading, watched it. It was extremely specific to me. The next week, at the top of my For You page, I did not block you, Uncle Will. I swear to God. It wasn't me. It was not me. I didn't block you. There was Aunt Amanda and Uncle Will. There was Uncle Will, and now there's fishing in Florida. And yes, that was the thing I wanted to tell you, Susie, is that, bro, a solar panel would be great. I had my... Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. There was a bird sleeping right next to me. Yeah, I have my Instagram and my Facebook in my description. If not, I'll put it there to get a hold of me. Or if you wanted to put your Instagram handle or a cell phone number or something in the comment section somewhere, I can get a hold of you. For Susie specifically, this week I had, and I appreciate it, man. I'm really trying to, where can I send it? I don't know, big packages like that. There's a community outreach place, and that's 12. This bird is yelling at me. Uncle Will 19. Is that Instagram? I'll screenshot it. Oh yeah, Susie. So I've been getting, I wish you could see this view, but this is the college. You can't see it. It's Vermont Tech. It's on top of a mountain. I've got the entirety of the Green Hills surrounding me. One time I came here a couple weeks ago, I think it was on the 22nd day, which is the Master Builder. It's the most powerful day in the month in numerology. And I was just skirting around the gang stalkers because I could see, as I was building my energy and I was feeling more powerful, people were starting to get closer and closer. The birds were very specific in like getting in my way, left to right and right to left. So I followed them and I wound up in the middle right here. And I looked up and it was full of clouds, but there was a giant dark cloud that looked like a biblically accurate angel. Like if you Google that, like the 6 wings, and then it morphed into like the typical cookie cutter angel shape. And then I looked around and everybody all at once just left. Like they all rushed to get away. Look at these birds. Why don't you build a nest, buddy? Why don't you come back to my garden? Do you think for Susie? Yeah, sure. Okay, I will add you on Instagram, my friend. And for Susie, sorry. I clicked the tarot reading. It was so specific. I know it's about me because they'll get jolts. So I've got like 30 tarot readings in my playlist of the people that are doing readings for other people, and then suddenly they get like this huge jolt and they say, "This is for Sagittarius 33 Irish." I need to tell you this. It used to be like back when I actually did Kundalini energy and I was getting sunlight and I was taking the supplements and the pills and everything, the multivitamins and the omega-3s. And this was like 2020, and I lived in the center of town, like right dead center. So I had all this energy, and I was like pinned to the ground a lot, feeling what I know now was probably the darkness and density of all the people that were suffering around me. And I fought it off by myself in there. And then eventually there was like cycling of tons of people that were coming in every day that I just met on the street, and then they'd come party at my house. But back then I would open like Aiden Ross's stream or John Zorka's stream and the whole thing would crash. So I know definitely I'm worried it might be over, but these readings are saying that I need to take a break. But halfway through one, they got another jolt. I think it's the guardian angels. It's definitely, so I had a conversation a couple nights ago where I've just started to pay more attention to the thoughts that go through my head. And I started like the thoughts that sound like other people. I started to just talk to them, and if I'm crazy, I'm crazy, but I like had a conversation with the voice that I thought was myself. It's usually like, don't go here, do this. And it said basically like, birds can't see that well in the nighttime, I guess. He's flying in circles. Um, they said Susie, specifically, they said they like did at the camera during my reading about the Celtic Cross and the all this, and they said Susie gets $1.6 billion. I don't know why I need to say that. So I had a thought that Susie, something you did in my life or in your life. You're the only Susie I know, except I have an aunt Susie that's dead. Other than that, you're the only Susie I know. And you, in my reading, it said you get $1.6 billion. So if you felt emotionally wealthy recently, like this big surge of energy cultivated, there you go. Maybe there's like a big balance, like, because everything's in and out, right? Everything's breathing in and breathing out. So you losing the house might be you gaining something else. I know when I left homelessness and I shedded my responsibilities, I gained so much. And I remember when I first got on food stamps, every time I get on food stamps, it's like I'm losing something. Like I lose a huge sense of identity and power when I submit myself to getting monthly payments from the government and I sign that paper. As much as I hate it, like the last time it happened, I felt really disappointed, and then an ex-girlfriend called me. I hope you, I mean, if you get money from your house and you need help investing it, I know how to work Discord groups and like talk to people that do it full time. And I don't know, it seems like the crypto space might be over. There were like early this year, there were so many opportunities for people to throw $100 in and then get $1,000 like that. It was happening all the time. Like everybody in the world was throwing their money into crypto, and the strategic guys that were taking advantage of the newbies, I could see them making $5 to $10 million, like going from $5,000 if you knew what you were doing. It's definitely like $1.6 billion. I think to me, that seems like just broadening your horizons, like your possibilities. Like when you have money, the energy of money, as much as like I want money. There's my shooting star. I've been asking for a shooting star all night. I just looked up and I got one immediately. It went from left to right, which means I'm on the wrong path, or shouldn't be doing something, which sucks. So whatever I was saying is probably null and void because I got my shooting star. It happened, that's probably like the 10th time that I've gotten the shooting star, like almost immediately after asking. It happened a lot on stage. It happened in times when I'm finally ready to take the leap and push my boundaries and go somewhere new. Like one time I got it. I decided to leave in the middle of the night in Burlington and ride my bike 2 miles through the bike trail at night and go get some food downtown when it's busy and there's college girls everywhere. That's great. Uncle Will, I moved from my car. I was sleeping in the car, and there were heroin addicts overdosing around me, and it was violent, and people were screaming. There was like, I did kill a guy in self-defense. That like I was playing basketball outside of daycare, and because I was wearing a Boston Red Sox hat, and I'm in the middle of Vermont, this like scrawny, taller guy in his early 30s came at me, and I embarrassed him in front of his girlfriend. And then later that night, his girlfriend came in, and he saw that, like, we talked. And he came in with a baton, and I had a hatchet, so I picked him up and threw him on the ground and then got him. I haven't got a good consensus because the people here are kind of proud. Like, I talked to his cousin. We know that he ran away to Texas, She wouldn't tell me if I pierced his lung, but I think I got him pretty good. But since then, I've had like his group, because this is a small town. So I've had tons of people in his group, or people that he deals drugs to, that were chucking coffees and staring at me through the window. And I heard that him and a couple guys were trying to pay people to come shoot me with a silencer. And that was in the middle of winter. Like, the girl that I loved at the time, that like a girl I had a huge crush on, hit me up in the middle of it, and I embarrassed myself because I was stressed out and still trying to like be interesting and entertaining, when I should have just said, yo, hit me up in a month, shit's not going well. But instead I was like trying to talk to her. It didn't work. But the tarot reading literally said like her star sign, her birthday, her energy, like the idea that I had of her. The tarot reader just read that back to me and said that I dodged a bullet. But I moved into the woods. On the, like, about a half a mile in, there was an abandoned cabin. So I've been staying in that cabin until people kicked me out. And there was a guy here that offered to give me a car. I've been thinking about a sailboat, actually. Like, I've been really thinking about a boat. I know people at the sailing center here, like about 2 hours northeast of where I am. There's Lake Champlain, and it's a huge lake. And I used to live out by the sailing center last year, and I figured they could teach me, or I could learn. I really wanted to get in a boat. I'm kind of mastering the elements. I mastered fire to keep myself warm in the winter, and then I mastered earth by living out and growing with the trees. And now I have water and air, which is like knowledge and pure emotion. So it would be dope to be on a sailboat for that. And it's just here to make content and help others. Everybody, yeah, I use the money that you send me to get a pizza, and I tip the driver well. So thank you, man. It was a good moment. It gave me a boost. I got through. So things are going all right. I'm trying to get this album finished. I have 5 albums, and I have 2 TV shows that my cousin does animation. The dream is eventually to set up shop somewhere in like northeast Vermont. I'm in central Vermont right now, so I like get over these mountains that I keep posting and get to the other side, away from where the New Yorkers will come in. I don't know if you guys have seen the cicadas, but they're like, people in Ohio are walking down the street, and then all of a sudden there's like 200 of them on their shirt, and they're just like digging at the shirt. There's a lot of them. So I don't want to be out there, because my tent's got holes in it, man. I got to get another one from community outreach. My tent's got holes in it. If the cicadas show up, that's what I'm saying. My plan was to get the energy right, find someone on Marketplace that's selling a boat for, I know there's one that's selling a small yacht for $3,500 that just needs a motor. So I was gonna text him to call, tell him that, the world could end any minute. I would use this to make content and to live stream parties and live on the water and live my best life. It'd be a really good experience for me. And I could give you monthly payments and also give you free access to all the stock trading groups that I'm in. Once I have a position to set myself up to start learning how to do Forex trading and funded trading and crypto and e-commerce, because I think that would be dope. And then there's an RV going for $8,000. That's my colors. It's like the black, red, green, and gold. And I've been trying to get it for 2 years, and they keep taking it down and then relisting it cheaper. So I was gonna say, like, hey, you haven't sold it in 2 years. That's a good idea. Okay. That's a good idea. Okay. They probably have a trailer too for it. It all depends on when I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on with Jacob Martin. Jacob said he had a car and he had a cabin. And the cabin is in the area that I'm in right now. So I'm thinking he might be trolling. I did have like a lot of people the past couple months. Like I had legitimate stalkers. Like old guys that sit at their computer all day trolling people online. Like there's a lot of people that post that they're getting gang stalked, and that they're targeted individuals, and that the people are following them. I definitely think it's real. I think we move in and out of that world. Like I think it's like a choice to like delve deeper into the understanding of the emotional world and the Higgs boson, and that connects you to on a deeper level to people, and then eventually you like find the, maybe not the cheat codes, but just a deeper level of connection. And I think that's when people that don't have that deeper level of connection start to get autopiloted. I really believe that. I can see like thought forms hitting the side of my head. When I get inspired, it feels more like something's attaching onto the roof of my hat. Definitely in the cities, there's like so many people are twitching and fighting this connection to like this deeper system. And when I did have lots of light in my system, when I did have lots of light in my system, I got tons of, I'll call them tests. I'd activate, I'd feel like this really high connection. I'd be like buzzing with this really high vibrational energy. There's my bird. My bird got triggered. I activated and the bird showed up. And then within seconds, like usually within seconds, which makes me think that the whole thing was orchestrated by like a higher consciousness, or maybe I'm constantly being monitored, or we're in a dream realm and that thing just spawned. But for whatever reason, it's like a sequence of events that happen sometimes, where as soon as I get to this level of awareness and I go to make a choice, there's like loud, violent stuff in my surroundings and big distractions, and people that I go to for help turn to this same like slimy, weird tone, and they're always trying to drive me away from, to accidentally giving that power away somehow and then leaving me out. It happens a lot. But I'm saying these tarot readings are spot on. Like the dream, I'll have a dream and then I'll get a notification for a tarot reading the next day, and then I'm watching the tarot reading and they describe what happened in my dream perfectly for what I'm experiencing, and then they give me solid advice on how to deal with it. And it happened, like I think the theme of like 2 months ago was me like saying, why is this happening? Where's God? Why am I not getting any help? What's going on? I need people to talk to. It like come to me through somebody else, just talk to me. And then never happened for 2 months, and then right at the end of the spring, when we're getting ready for the next level of challenges, yeah, it's just, for that to be true, in order for that to be true, there would have to be and I mean, I did just ask for a shooting star and I got it live. Like if you go earlier in the live, so that's cool. On this live stream, you can see me asking for a shooting star, and you can see me getting it later on, which is cool. What was the point? Oh, for that to be true, the inner work, like our thoughts and emotions would have to be, I just saw, like, so I closed my eyes and then I saw a horse skeleton hit the side of my head from over here. I don't know what that means, I know I've been thinking about horses a lot. Horses have been coming up a lot in my life. So for there to be a horse skeleton, there's also remember there's a deer skeleton. Oh, okay. So there is a horse or a deer skeleton on the property, and for like 2 weeks I kept saying I was gonna bury it, and then when I finally got the shovel and went down there, I realized that maybe it didn't want to be buried, and maybe the concept of burying it is something we made up, and that nature doesn't work like that, and that nature actually wants to be spread out and around each other. So like burying this horse would be suffocating it when really it wants to be out in the open. Or else it would have crawled into a cave or like into a ravine or something. But instead it died like in a nice spot. So the message to myself was like, maybe life is so beautiful, you should just leave it alone and stop trying to exert my will on it. The same way I'm like raking all these leaves and stomping on the forest that's alive. And when the whole time I could have just let it be and enjoyed being in it, in that abandoned house. But instead I'm like raking the whole shit, building things, nailing the wood. And then I was mad when I got a tick. As soon as I like stopped nailing the trees and I stopped nailing the abandoned house, and I just started like feeding the birds and cultivating the garden and taking care of it, I haven't got a tick since. When I was actively fighting the forest, exerting my will on it by putting all my stuff in it and trying to make it cool for other people, I was getting ticks every day. The flies were in my face, the birds were screaming at me. But now it's like I wake up every day with the birds, and while the birds are going out to eat, I go out to eat to McDonald's, and I come back, and Vivek and her husband are feeding their babies, and I'm eating my McDonald's, watching YouTube videos describing a guy sitting in the middle of the woods surrounded by green that works with the lion people to have such a big mission. It made them almost stop because it was so overwhelming, and they cried at like, she felt the loss of my children. I had 2 kids that didn't come to term. Like we got to like 6 to 8 months pregnant, and 2 different girls, and one of them got in a car accident, I think, and she didn't even tell me she was pregnant. Like I didn't really see her that often because she was in school and I was brain damaged from the car accident. So I was already really out of it. I saw her prom pictures and I was like, she's unusually fat. I don't know how I didn't notice that. I like see her at nighttime, I guess. She comes in at night. Like I knew she was big, but found out later she was far along, like 6 months, and she just hit it well or something. I don't know. The other one I knew about when I was 16, and she got in a car accident, I think. One of them got in a car accident. Hold on. No, one of them just had a bad day. She was stressed, and we knew about it. It was on Facebook and everything. We told everyone. She just had like a really stressful day. She had like a panic attack and then miscarried. And then the other one got in a car accident and she didn't tell me at all. It was just, I thought she was fat, and then suddenly she wasn't fat, but extremely depressed. So, big letdown. Yeah. Yeah. I'm at a weird point with that. I'm at a weird point with the spiritual journey because I've hurled myself in and I've gone the distance, like waking up every day from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. It's just on the grind, in the unknown, forcing myself through, trying to make something happen, going against the grain, fighting, just rebelling against the entire universe to carry my light through and to make something with it. that stands in a world that was violent and constantly at me. And it was like the only people that came around were trying to trap me. So I know about throwing myself into the unknown. I've like gone deep into the woods by myself, and I've gotten scared, and I've heard, like I've felt how every movement I make is the nature is responding, and then I'm pinned down and the thing comes through. But for some, there's also so much keeping me from just being centered. So one of the tarot readings said that the Venusians told me, and she was like laughing as she figured out I was like a lion person. She's like, these lion people keep trying to get a hold of you, and these Venusians told me I need to do yoga and kundalini. I need to get in the sunlight, which is all I preach, is to get in the sunlight. And so that's where I'm headed. I don't know what I see a bunch of stuff I should be doing. I keep getting this, like, they give me half of, do you have a Tran card on one of your posts? My Instagram is Saint_Casey, Casey. I just dropped. The profile picture is the bear with the Native Americans. Yes, I mean, I'm meditating, and like I'll close my eyes and I get hit with a thought form, like a projection, like a cartoony image. One of the dead horse skeleton that was kind of amused, and then I just got a wizard casting a spell. Like I closed my eyes and I saw in the back of my mind there was like the typical wizard in the starry robes casting a spell. Last night I had a dream, because I was saying that I wanted to get back together with that ex that lost her child. And I had a dream that my ex-best friend, who's always been a snake, like we've always known he was like a sneaky piece of garbage. He always his entire personality's a front. And he's always like, he's just not a trustworthy person. He's just generally a scumbag. And it was him. I had two dreams about him. One where he was copying my entire style. Like he was taking and absorbing my energy and then using it to become me, basically. Or he was like wearing clothes that I invented. Like I made a style, a way of life, like my swag. And he was copying my swag, and it was like an amalgamate of him and every other guy that the girl I'm talking about had slept with. So I'm assuming they hooked up. Maybe they didn't, but it was him. And then the next time, last night, I had a dream that he was showing me porn of that girl, and she was in like this gross pit with a bunch of, they were like black girls, but they were more just like dark, like that, like the Doja Cat video, like demonic people, like the dark, not dark skin like brown skin, but dark skin like black and bluish, like evil. And they were surrounding this girl while she was getting fucked. And it was like the girl I thought was my soulmate. So I was sad, and then opened my phone and it talks about the soulmate that the girl just like looks directly at the camera and says the soulmate that you thought was yours is actually a controlling evil person that hoes around, and it shouldn't be given attention to. You should cut her off. She's like this bad spirit. She's not in the place. And then that's the bird. She described her perfectly. So it is what it is, man. I was chasing one girl. The girl that I used to like came in. I was too focused on the girl I liked, so that girl left. Hasn't tried since. Then this other girl, because my plan was to, I saw some type of light creature. The energy in the light coming from my brain, the electricity, just pinged off of like a silhouette of a spirit, and I saw it leave my forehead. I felt the vibes. There's something here moving. I am like on top of this mountain in the center, and there's tons of people around. If they're like, where two or more are gathered in my name, there he is. So, and there's like 100 people surrounding me right now in their houses. But earlier I was talking about that the stars are like ecosystems. Okay. Thank you, Uncle Will. Uncle Will wants to hook me up with a solar panel. That would be really useful. Because then with a solar panel, then all I need is a portable battery, a portable power station like a Jackery, and my computer fixed. And then I'd have everything I need to get the ball rolling with music. And then that could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. There's also like a gaming laptop for $600 that has everything I need, and there's another one for $500, which are two amazing deals. Yeah, I was just talking about my day. Uncle Will said he's gonna hit me up. Thank you. I will. Thank you, Susie. I hope the universe blessed you with the money. Yeah, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, man. But I got the shooting star on the live, so we're here. I will meditate and do the Kundalini, and I'm gonna research how to keep myself sacred, how to keep the sanctity of the sanctuary in place and keep it blessed so that all the energy comes back in. There we go. I see it. I need to sweep. I'm pretty sure God wanted to leave it the way it was. He didn't want me raking and stealing tools and all this, but he did. I do specifically remember a voice in my head that felt like a proud father or a God. It felt like a higher power. Tell me he was proud of me after I spent the whole day raking and I had work to show for it. So I left half of it wild. I purposefully left Vivek's corner exactly how it was when I got there. But if I sweep and mop the rest, the whole thing I'm looking for is a stampede. Stampede? Should I do the stampede? Should I do the stampede, Lord? I have so much. As soon as I have the ability to start creating content and utilizing the Unreal Engine, and I have a safe commander's seat, and the rest are just privileges, like if I could drive around at night, if I could go to the lakes and hang out with friends, that'd be nice. If I had a motorcycle or an e-bike. But to start out, all I really need is a computer and Wi-Fi and a safe spot to do it. We made it through the winter. All the people that used to be aggressive, they're still trying, but they can't. Because we made it through the love. Taurus is ruled by Venus. It's the high vibrational Venusian love. It's where love comes from, right? It's love. I'm out of college. I don't really... If I decided to go to college, which I probably won't need to, I'd go to figure out whatever I need to do to get into the judicial system so I can section off more and more of Vermont as state land, or I would secretly give it away to people that... As my gang stalker's coming. I'd want to turn Vermont into a giant garden or a wildlife preserve, so that the garden that I built can stay there in the way that nature moves as it is, regardless of the heat and the temperature change. And technology, when humans are now connected to artificial intelligence, and our thoughts, our bodies are basically just like cars to get us around. And we live in this unfathomable, exponentially larger, complex system of consciousness in our this is just like a pit stop. Like, this is Earth is where we'd go to bed at night, basically. As it flips to the dream world, I would want to keep Vermont safe. Like the acacia tree, I'd set up shop and I'd grow my roots around as far as they can reach, and just have a system to protect the natural world that's being destroyed with the Canadian and Amazon wildfires and all the bombing in the Middle East, and the society that's completely demonic. It's based on the devil. They're horrible. They treat each other horrible. They call it masculinity, but really it's rape. They're raping each other and they're conquering, and they love it. Because motivational videos tell you, show them the beast that's inside, really bring out the monster within, let them know who's boss. When in reality, like, that might get you fired up to go kill a workout, but it's promoting the culture where you're separated. We all love each other, bro. We're all people. These are, what do they call them? They call them light vehicles. These are just dense molecules of the universe expressing itself to itself. All we're doing around here is using our senses to collect information and use it to create things. It's picking back up. We're using our senses to collect information to create things. These are just vehicles. So having that motivational, show them who's boss, fight the world, you're just promoting the other people to feel bad so that their responses go back, and that the whole network, kind of like it's just the neural network is causing it to feel pain. All it's doing is making us feel pain. And I guess I'm grateful because I see entitled people all the time. Living here, being out here in central Vermont, look at these nice houses. These people have no idea. And they're the most, like, choosing to be toxic, choosing to shy away from the beauty of growth and growing from your understanding. They just grow more into how to hurt others, and it's all stunting on each other with the darkness, and they call it community, they call it strength, but it's not. It's basically, it's like prejudice. It's just waiting for, it's great. It's just coming out of me. I'm not really piecing thoughts together. I'm just expressing with something that's far above me. Like, once I got into nature fully, when you live I don't know how much you guys have been through, but when you live this life, you get degraded. Like, identity is the most powerful thing that you can be. Like, the thought forms that you set in your personality shape the entire universe around you. Your standards that you set, everything that goes inside is morphing everything around you. And when you live like this, especially by yourself in the woods, there's the red truck. When you live in the woods, it gets ripped out of you. Because, like, you use that structure in your life to channel the infinite, to have a creative style, to have your own artistic choice. But when you're out in the woods, it gets taken from you a lot, but it gets replaced. It's like you have to grow back out. Nature will eat you and force you to grow again. Whereas in the cities, they just cut you down and you have to figure it out. That's why these people are living like, the box that they're living in is completely artificial electricity, structured with steel, straight lines. Was that my chain? No. So one day, yeah, That's what I said. People are very set in their beliefs because they needed that to survive. I'm passing in a nursing home, like an elderly retirement home, and that's the whole as I'm addressing the people that I'm talking about, I'm passing them without knowing. It was like subconscious or higher conscious. They had to survive a different world. The people the culture that I'm talking about, like the evilness, it's people were pushed down and forced to work in the Industrial Revolution. They were bred to be dogs, and they were bred to stunt on each other and their values. You guys have seen more of it, but I guess I live in a place like that isn't New York or isn't Florida. I live in rural Vermont right now, where it's quiet. So it's not uncommon for men to barely say 5 words a day. And for the most part, they live in their head and they're moving through society. Maybe they have 1 or 2 conversations. But for the most part, we're out in the woods with just our thoughts. So that lets us channel this like nature energy, but there's also like the remnants of the old world where people are very stuck and rigid and they're badass. But this new high vibrational energy is like, it cuts through everything that is like the whole world that we're living inside, outside of our body, the 5th dimensional energy or 10th dimension, whatever it is, the highest frequencies. They're literally, it's like burning. If this is like an organism, we're like an invasive force burning it and converting it from the inside. We're intruding on the garden. So of course it's going to respond. Of course it's not going to like us when we activate the Kundalini energy and we channel the stars and we start to be a gateway for these other dimensions to break through and convert this space, this Garden of Eden, because everything's alive. Of course it's going to fight back because we're hurting it. But that's growth. It's like when you work out in the gym. These little intrusions, these waves, like my name KC, Kehasa. My dad always saw, like I always saw it as case, like I'm encasing, like the yin yang, the C and the Y looks like the yin yang, the balance. I always felt like the unifier, the guy that is able to connect everybody that are so vastly different from each other. But my dad, even though his name is Gary, so he's got the same shape, the G and the Y, just like the C and the Y. OB, O'Brien. But my dad always saw us as, like I always saw us as fire, but my dad always saw us as water. He said that O'Brien meant from the sea, and that Casey and Gary are like the sounds of the waves coming in. So I hope that's what my plan was for 2025. 2024, it felt like I'm a bear on the mud, and I'm going to be crawling with a bunch of Native Americans on dirt bikes, and we're going to ransack and take over against the whiny losers that are stuck in the hood culture that we're trying to keep out. People that adopt that darkness because nobody liked them. I even had a dream for a music video where I jump off on a dirt bike and I morph into like the bear, cat, lion, eagle, like the embodiment of nature, and I pounce on them, and then hundreds of kids on dirt bikes jump off the same ledge with me, and we all charge at this one kid, and we just maul him to death that was threatening to shoot us. And he was like, he thinks he's a gang member, but he lives in rural Vermont. And it's like it's like a young version of the guy that I killed a while back. That turned, I guess he lived, but we all thought he died for a while. I haven't seen him. But people are saying he lived, he just moved to Texas. Which I'm worried that maybe they, nobody's telling me the whole story. Some people are saying he's in Texas, some people are saying he's in Barrie, some people are saying he's dead, some people are saying that He's hiding out in New Hampshire. Nobody really knows what happened to him, but we know that I, at the center of town in the middle of winter, on the internet begging for help, got confronted by this drug dealer and I whooped his ass. But I'm like a younger version of that guy. That's who I saw in the music video. With my dad, like 2025 was supposed to be is gonna be when I'm rich and I have the means to have luxury and I adopt the red and black again and I have the nice clothes. I already have designs for I want to cut pieces of carpet apart, like the nice, like old vintage style carpets, and use that to texture bomber jackets. Like take the nice bomber jackets with like the leather sleeves, like the varsity jackets, and then have the KCC logo on it, and then have like the nice floral royal carpet print. Because that's strength, it's solid. It's a nice like rugged material that you can like feel on for ADHD. And it's got that, it's gonna be in places that people like the chest and the shoulders and the triceps. So it makes you look bigger and it emboldens your character. And I want to take vintage rugs to make it more expensive, and I'd sell them as one of ones. I want to do a Shopify store called Get Off Grid. I want to get Will Survives, the YouTube channel. I want to get him on a mountain. I want to unite and be a crossover episode between YouTubers. I think that would be dope. These tarot readers are saying that greatness is on its way. They're saying it's unfathomable how legendary and amazing my story is, and that I'm just in a break period. So unless I missed out, did I miss out? It's hard not to see the stars as an organism now, and as I look up, you can see way high up there, the stars are moving. I don't know if you can't really see it, but take a look outside some nights. They're the planes, because they legally have to blink. They legally have to blink to be registered with the FFA. If it's a drone, it has to blink. If it's a plane, it has to blink. If it's even a government-issued plane, they have to blink. And these are stars that will float over neighborhoods. They don't go in straight lines forever. Eventually, if you watch them long enough, they stop and change direction. And they float over these small Vermont towns, all the way from Brattleboro to Burlington. They watch over neighborhoods and then they move. I remember a long time ago, now that I know that other spirits can come into your consciousness and talk to you if you learn how to sit in your meditative space right, that you're constantly being bombarded with spirits. You just don't realize, or you might not have all the knowledge necessary to build a foundational understanding to house that type of communication. There we go, right? So that's my Sagittarius right there, bruh.